They gotta understand when they do something wrong. They have to understand when they do it right. This'll completely. Hey. We've done so much heel work. Let's do heel and have someone stop, and then I'm gonna have you just take a step back. I think sometimes they don't know what they're supposed to do because all we do is correct them when they don't do it right. Our timing needs to be so much better. The takeaway from today is slow down. At Mighty Pet, we're going to slow down.
You really don't appreciate it.
And we're going to make our dogs work through the anxiety of having to get the next thing. You guys, each one of you, have to really know clearly, okay, what is it that he wants me to do? Because I need to know what you need to know what you need to do first, and then you need to start thinking, well, then what is he going to do to react to what you're going to do? So if you have any second thoughts of, I'm not exactly sure what he wants me to do, ask me before you get going. Because if you don't, you're going to be trying to figure out what you should do. And if you're trying to figure out what you should do, you're not paying attention to what he should do. And he needs to react to you. Because whatever you're doing, your dog reacts to you, needs to react to you. If you don't know what you're doing, he doesn't know what he's doing. And then we got two people dancing in the opposite direction. So you're going to start right where you're at. You're a straight line to the end of the counter. And what I want is this pace to be dictated by you. So he is going to have a tendency, I think, to want to go out a little bit. If he wants to go out a little bit, as soon as he does, I want a turn. And if he's not coming with, it's a correction. And as soon as you do that a couple nice times, his head is going to go, oh, she's turning. And he's going to want to turn with you. And you're going to have to be able to go, oh, he came with, I don't have to correct. Or he's not correct. Or it's a little bit, or it's this much. It just depends. You need to give it enough that he reacts to it. This is that little dog that we were talking about earlier that is out in front, well, doesn't know what the difference is, because the problem with that was, where I take it? That video that I showed you, sit. Come on, you're not ducking. Sit. That video that I showed you was, that dog had pressure like this all the time. And this, the dog feels. Eventually, this much pressure right there is going to be enough to get the change. It's going to be enough to get the dog to turn. Because they hang out a little bit on me, so I go like this. And he felt that. You see his head turn as soon as I did it? He just felt that. So eventually, that's going to be enough pressure to get him, that's the correction. When it starts out, it might be that much. And get him to go, it's not hurting him, it's scaring him. He's going, I didn't know that was coming. But he's going to pay attention, and he will change. And eventually the change, hopefully, is just that much. Watch his left leg. Rochelle, come on this side. All you guys come on this side, just real slow. I want you to watch his left leg. Because when I say correct at a level 10, it might mean that, or it might mean this. If you watch his left leg. See how, every time I flip this, oh boy, he's actually figuring out, you know what, I might have to sit here for a while. We do this every week. And usually it's 20 minutes that I gotta sit here. So that's good. But that alone, see his front left paw? Every time, I mean, he feels it. The question is will that much pressure change his direction or his actions? Or it might not this early. But eventually, he's going to feel just that little tap. You know, feel. And the goal is that this lead is loose. That's why when you have people saying, I don't want to put that slip chain on there, that choke chain, everyone calls it a choke chain. I don't want to put the choke chain on because I don't want you choking the dog. Well, that right there is how it's supposed to work. No pressure at all. The idea is when the correction comes, it's sharp, and there's a little sound to it, and it releases on and off quickly. A flat collar doesn't give you that. Sit down. So, Now I want you to walk a straight line. I don't want you going left or right, I just want a straight line. But I want you to dictate your pace, and I want you to dictate the time when you turn around based on his actions. If he gets out too far, it's a half step in front. Turn 180 degrees and go back. And if he doesn't come with, correct. And as soon as you correct, he'll come, but you need to be able to turn the pressure off. So do you know what, do you want me to do it first, or do you want to feel comfortable with what we're looking for? I'll do it.
I think I get it.
Okay.
If I don't get it though, you should probably do it.
Okay, now this can't happen.
No.
This can't happen.
No.
Way too much loose. So the position, so let's fix this mechanically too. This is way too much. Leash. So this leash is too long. We're going to talk about leashes. I'll let you hold that for a second. I'm going to show you this one, because this is the one that Rochelle and I are going to talk about getting you guys. And I think part of it will become, it'll just be like part of the uniform. You put the same shirts on every day and you know how they feel, right? It's part of the uniform. This needs to be part of the uniform. I know exactly, I can close my eyes, pick up one of these leashes, slip it on a dog, and I can feel about exactly where my hand needs to be, right about there. It's loose, right? When my arms are down, it's loose. It's where I want it. When I need to get a little correction in, right there, I get it. Now, if I'm holding onto it here and there's too much, that's a 6 or a 4. That's not going to be enough to get maybe the correction that I need. So in order to get it, I got to get way up here. Well, I lose all my power. After about here, I lose my power. So I need it about here. So I had a person in our workshop that had a real hard time putting their hands in the same spot every time. And when they had them in the right spot, it worked good. When they didn't have them in the right spot, they're all over. And it didn't work. So we took a marker and we marked the lead. I said, your left hand is always right on that marker tab. And I said, and eventually that marker will wear off and you won't even need it because you'll just feel it. And you'll know exactly, I'll be able to slide my hand out, oh, there's the marker. It needs to be ongoing. So like, all this stuff has to be ongoing. So when we were standing here and talking, he was in a really nice position. But then as we started to get ready to move, are you sure you know what to do? Oh yeah, and you're not thinking so much about the dog, you're thinking about me, and you're going, he's asking me these questions, I got to think of these answers. And all of a sudden, Benelli's over here, out of position, and we got too much lead out there. So that eroded, and that negated everything that we had done here. So it's like the good and the bad, the good and the bad, the good and the bad. I want way more good and a lot less bad. So that balanced out, we didn't gain anything from it. So it's got to be always. So that's why when we stand here and watch, it's got to be always. If we stand here and watch with these dogs, and these dogs are doing what they want to do on the end of the lead, or whatever position they want to be in, and then we go over here and we go, let's work on heel position. Everything we worked on in heel position is simply to fix the habit that we formed over here. We didn't get any further ahead. We need to constantly be going to the plus, not balancing out plus and negative equaling 0. You know what I mean? Sometimes I use weird analogies. Like that makes sense to me. I think a lot of people, I tell that story, like, what the fuck is he talking about? What I mean is like getting good stuff, positive, that's positive, that's positive, that's positive, this is positive, this is positive. If Spry were to get off of there right now, that's negative. That negative of her getting off would have balanced out the positive of her being up there. I didn't really gain much. So I'm constantly looking at a training session and going, I want to gain stuff. Don't want to go backwards for sure, and I prefer to not be neutral, 0. I don't want to be enough bad and enough good to balance out, because I'm not getting any further ahead. So that, I had to feel that, sit out. All right. So now feel. So his position is perfect right there. He gets 0 correction, it's really good. He's lagging behind, he's unsure. That was perfect. Perfect turn. Now, what I have to be focused on is, am I walking on a straight line? Because if you're over here and you're over here, it's not fair to him. So he's not out front. Now, if he lags behind, there. If he lags behind, I'm going to encourage him to catch up. I'll take that, you take this. So let me see your hands. A little less, a little looser. A little more, right? About there. Now lift up, you don't have to crack, but lift up as if you were to crack. Right there you get bite, right? You got enough power there, you might want to go just right there. I like this because it's loose and it drops just enough. So like when he gets down, I would personally want just just a fuzz more. But if you can't get enough, and I don't think it'll take a lot, you got to find that, okay? So let's have you straight line, and I'm going to watch your line because this is important. You got to think about more than one thing at a time here. All right, now turn. There, and he comes right with it. Now, if he were to lag behind, you're going to give him a little, come on, come on, come on. You might not have to tap your hip, but you might just, come on, just give him a little verbal. Now, get him in position and have him sit. Because this is a chance to finish out what you just did and have it be a plus. Like, it's for the good. If you did that and you came back and he gets loose on you, damn it, what we just did good is gone because we just did bad. Do it again. Do it again. You're not off the hook. Now he's ramping up, so take control. You take control of the situation. If he gets to the point where he's ramping up and all of a sudden that lead was stretched that tight. It wasn't tight, but it wasn't loose. So if that's the case, give him a correction so he turn that off and get him to settle. And he's probably feeding off of me because I'm just wound tight this morning. I'm running late. Get correct. Not enough correction. Get him back in position. You got too much leash. Tighten it up a little bit. So the second he decided he was going to go in front, that was the time to get him. And it needed to be sharp and crisp. If it were sharp and crisp, Peter responded right to it and he went, whoops, sorry. But he didn't. That's okay. Now scooch over to where you need to be. There. Look at your lead right now. So he either needs to get back to you or you need to be up to him, and I would prefer to have him back to you. So a little snap. A little more because you're not getting it good. There. Put your hand down just a little bit further, right there. Okay. Heel him out. Turn and come this way. There. He's just trying to figure you out. And every once in a while, if you have to stop to check him and make sure he's staying honest, stop. You right there. Nice little pace change, and he responded nice. Good. Turn. Stop. Sharper correction. There. The first one could have been a little sharper. The second one probably didn't. Probably was about right. Okay, go ahead. There. Okay, stop. Now the last 3 steps, you went to the right. You went like this. And you know why? He leaned into you. So you're right where you need to be right now. He should be on that side of you. But turn and come to us. Boy, he really sees that door and he says, I'd really like to go over there. Okay, turn. Now one straight out. Straight out to the, now you just moved over to the right. She doesn't believe me. Go ahead, walk straight to the end of the aisle. I'm telling you, most people, she's over.
Why is it important? Why do dogs walk in straight lines?
No, because we're running the show.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to challenge, if you're, people walk in straight lines. If I say walk over to that counter right now, the chances are you would walk a straight line to it. You're not going to go one of these. One of these. You look like you're drunk. So if I say, walk over to that counter, okay. Now I'm going to walk around here, but if someone says, walk to the counter. Right? That's natural. Not this. So if you're going to, the reason she's going like this is because that dog is influencing where he wants her to go. He might want to go to the right, so he's going to lean to the right. So if you go to the right because he wants to go to the right, who's driving this boat? Not this one, not this dog. So what I need to do is I need to have you guys think about, I have to walk a straight line. And if you walk a straight line, the dog has to walk a straight line, whether it wants to or not. So, all right, let's give him a break. Let's bring the golden up. We're going to do the same thing. I think so the next time we are here, we're going to do this, and then we're going to start building in multiple dogs, and we're all going to walk at the same time. It's another challenge, it's another distraction, but it's going to give you guys a chance to get in a little bit of a rhythm. This is hard to get in a rhythm. It's hard. It was hard. She got better. She had a real nice stretch in between there, but it's hard to get in a rhythm this short of time. So now we're back to his habit of, I'm ready to keep going and I want to be doing something. So now this is very uncomfortable for him because he's going to have to sit and watch. This is what that dog needs as much as anything. This dog's name is Kaya. And we're going to take this off just so it doesn't get in the way. Okay, loose her with that lead. There, right there. Up, just there, right there. She heard you. There's your little ears twitch, she hears you. She doesn't have to always look, just read a body language. Now she's a nice little dog. But she really likes to play, I think. She goes, oh, this is fun, let's do something different. Turn. Go. Don't let her let you know when she can go.
Sit. Nelly, sit. Sit.
Real late there on that correction. A little sharper on that correction. And pretty soon you're going to have to show her that you are actually, you're serious. She's going to learn. I mean, right now I think she's thinking this is kind of fun. Wow, this is pretty fun. And I think she's in heel position because she doesn't know any better. And so she's doing a nice job with it. But there's also a lot of, you two right now, I read, are on the same plane as far as leaders. Like I think she's going, I'll follow you around for a while, but then I might try to go my way and I'll see if you follow me around a little bit. Like she's real happy-go-lucky. She's not doing it out of spite or anything. But at some point when she jumps up like this and goes, come on, let's go play. You're going to have, You're going to have to change your tone and mean it. And then she'll go, oh boy. And I think she'll respond real well. So straight line. There. Okay, stop right there for a second. Have her sit there. There, nice little move. Gotta wait. No. So that was like a 3, and you needed to get a 10. So that 3 was, oh, just drag me a little bit. And I don't like that because I don't want dogs to get used to a little bit of this, and I don't really change my mind. I just keep doing what I want to do. I want it to be, they go, whoa. Because the next time I can go a little bit less, and a little bit less, and a little bit, until it gets to just that much, and they go, whoa. So that was not enough. It was dull and flat and nagging.
Okay.
So bring her back. That was real nice. Walk in there. That was real nice. That was a real nice response on your part as she kind of took a step into you. You gave her a nice little pulse. Correct. Missed it, but that was about the right pressure. It was just late. There. There. And this time, no bouncing, no hopping. She's a correction or two that wasn't too bad. And now all of a sudden she's actually looking at you like, what would you like me to do? Instead of, let's go do this. There, turn. Turn and go, turn and go, turn and go. Don't. There you go, turn and go. There. Now, I'm going to add a level with her. We're going to turn into her. So she's memorized this. I turn, I go around the outside turn is what she's doing. You're always turning the right way. You heel forward. Don't. You just subtly moved back to her because she sat there. So come on, bring her to you. Come on. Snap, snap. Get her to move. There. Get her to move. Come on. There. Now sit. So it's on your turns. Okay? So this time we'll have you do it, but I want you to walk forward. This is what you're going to do with her. Heel. So you're going to heel straight out. And you're used to going to the right. Now you're going to go to the left. See how I caught her off guard? She's like, whoa. Now watch the difference after one correction. That going to two is not going to know this is coming.
Nelly, sit.
So when you walk into her, it's going to be a mess. So you're going to have to guide her like I just did with her. So I was like, see how I bumped that and she feels it?
Nelly, heel.
So try it with her. It's going to look like a mess. So you're going to have to help her. You're going to have to help her. Go ahead and try it. No, don't walk around her. Give her a little tap and walk into her. So she positions herself where she needs to be. Get her back. There. That's it. Okay, this will be interesting. Now turn to your left. She's going, oh, there. That's it. Now turn. Now come back. That was nice. Now work on your straight line. Work on your straight line. Too late last night in the Sailor's Tavern. Now help her. Her instinct was sit down because she goes, I don't know what we're doing. So walk into her. Walk into her. Walk into her. There. Glad you didn't walk around. I'm glad you didn't walk around her. Did you see how that dog hopped to get out of the way? Because her little escape is sit. If I sit, everything's good. Turn into her and go. Now make it a little quicker on your end. Just turn into her and go. Don't give her the chance to sit on. Turn and go. Turn and go. Now you're getting real. One of these. I want you to go one of these. There. Now that was a nice sharp turn on your part. So now you got to help her. You got to help her. Here, let me see her. So we don't want to turn into a. She doesn't understand right now. So we don't want to really just be tugging around.
No.
She's confused. You're confused. So let's help her. You. She's got to trust me first. Girl. Help her feet get in the right position. This is like coordination. She's got to get coordinated.
Nelly, heel.
Sit.
Sit.
There. See how hard it is for her body to turn? She's not used to doing this. It feels funny. It's like throwing a baseball with your left hand if you're right-handed. No. 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 Now she's going, I just don't want to do it. I don't trust it.
Do they know that they were buying really super low?
Heel.
Yes! They're quite interesting.
Do you want to run with her up to the farm?
Then she's gonna bring a dog in to make sure it's safe.
Okay.
just gonna get her comfortable turning the way she knows how to turn. Good. Now we get that. Now I'm gonna go the opposite. Good. Come on, let's go. Come on, come on, come on, come on. That's it. So it's really a bad turn, but I call it success. It's going in the right direction. There, very good. Come on. That's it.
Good morning.
Sit.
Okay. Enjoy. Thanks. This is a blast. Yeah, I bet. My fun for the day.
There. Now she gets that little sit in, but I don't care because she swung the right way.
Oh, we're ready.
So now it's just going to be a matter of getting my rhythm going where I can go out and get going with work. So I'll have you do it. Have you do it, and then that'll be her break. Then she'll take a break. There. And a nice little bump with your leg there. I think she trusts you more than she does me. Get her now. Her focus is somewhere else. There, go. Turn and go. Turn and go. Turn and go. Turn and go. There. If you had done that with a nice quick pace, that would have been just perfect. Now she's checking out on you. There. You corrected yourself with that turn. Turn. Go. There. You didn't give her a chance to sit. End on that. That's real nice. Now a little looser. There. Right. A little looser. Right. Now you had said that the.
The collar's too tight, but we only have one size of each collar, so I'll have to get some more sizes.
Yeah.
She's probably gonna take a while. We're off to you.
All right.
Haley.
You're okay.
All right. Let's have you work with her. Yeah, I would go one size bigger with that collar, because it's gonna help.
Okay, just go out and turn around.
Straight line down and turn to your right. Turn to your right with it.
Here, here.
Now watch your line. There. That's the spot we want to leave. There. Turn. Straight line back. So with him, when he gets to that point, sit.
Sit. Good.
That's too much. Sit. He's really wound up. Like he's more wound up today than he was the last couple of days. So that's good. Okay, same thing. Keep going.
Pretty like, yep.
Nice loose lead. Turn. Now with this dog, because this dog is so pretty cool and calm, and I want you to change that. Make it so that, like right now, she's kind of on cruise control. So, whatever, we'll go. Speed. I want you to speed up. So this dog wants to go relatively slow. I think the slower, the better for her. I think she'd just be as happy as can be at a nice slow pace. So let's make this dog a little uncomfortable. Let's speed her up and make her think about, oh my gosh, I gotta really keep up with mom. I gotta, I'm gonna have to pay attention because as soon as you speed up, she might set the cruise control of this is the pace we're going, and mom just turned and I'm going this way. Whoa, I got it. Now all of a sudden she goes, I gotta pay attention to mom too, and go a little faster than I want to go. So now I'm getting the dog to start thinking and reading and feeling you, and so I want you to dictate the pace a little faster. And as soon as that dog catches up and goes, I can do this too, then I'm gonna have to slow down. So whatever the dog starts getting comfortable with, which the dog is really comfortable, just kind of nice, steady pace. Now I want you to speed up and have her go with it. And when she gets to the point where I think she'll go, okay, this is the pace we're going, then I want Chelsea to slow it down. And if the dog starts to slow it down, then you pick it up. And just keep going back and forth so that we can get varying speeds. And then it tells me that the dog is not just setting cruise control and being kind of numb to this. The dog is actually responding to you. And so as you put the gas pedal down, the dog goes faster. When you take your foot off, the dog slows down. You know what I mean? Karen? Press.
Right now, my dog.
There, nice. Turn. There. Now try a left hand turn. See how she reacts. No, don't turn around. Don't walk around the dog. Like a straight line between here and the counter. And go back. No.
I planted my foot.
Just or, it feels funny because we don't normally walk like this. But my buddy gave a good analogy. He said, when you're walking to from the house to the car and you realize you forgot your keys, you go right back. You don't, big loopy, you forgot it. You go back. So you're straight, you're turning, and you're going. And the dog's feet have to react to you. The dog is the one who should move around you. That's the goal. So turn. And get the dog there. Help the dog over there. And walk into her. Walk into her. She'll start adjusting to you. Turn. And walk forward. So now, because she's not expecting this. She goes, it's easy for them to follow on the outside. It's hard when you catch them on the inside. So help her out so your pace is good. And when you're going to turn into her, slow down a little bit. Help her with, I call it feathering. So like because she's pretty responsive to the neck, feather her over.
Right, it's just one of those metal. Yeah. She had one of those continuous teeth, and
Oh, I know she's scared.
She's bracing.
She knows that she can slip out around the collar. Yeah, she does.
She's got a good little trick.
Yep.
Okay. Because I've got a little bit of
Yeah,
that,
this
so
collar,
I thought of mixing
we need a little bit bigger slip chain.
Okay.
Remember, I took her back because she
Good.
kept bleeding out here.
Good.
So that's why I got Kaya.
Okay. Yep, that's all I need. No, thank you very much.
That's not effective. This slip, so this,
Too short.
I put it on her, and it wasn't a zip zip. It needs to be a zip zip. So we really gotta fix that with her. 'Cause that's gonna help with the tools. But now here, feather it back. Good. So that was the wrong way she turned. There's where she breaks. Good. That's what it took. But she's a lot crisper now. Whoa, he really meant it.
I can't just plant my feet and get back.
Hello.
Nice little pace too. A lot faster than she's used to walking.
Yeah.
I call that a done lesson with her. It was a lot for her. She had a pretty rude awakening at the end there. Because I think what she did was, she basically went along with what we asked her to do for the most part. And I think she realized, if I do this, nothing that bad's gonna happen. It was such a non-effective lesson. And then because up until that point, I think she kept in the back of her mind, if I really don't want to do it, I'll dig in. And we never really pushed her. You didn't push her to the point where she said, you know what, I'm gonna buck you. She did me. Because she said, no, I'm not that comfortable with this guy. I don't know this whole situation, and I'm just not going to move my feet. Because in the past, this has worked. And so, and it did. That first time it did work. So, now what? So the second time she did it, because she said, I did it before and it worked, I'll do it again. I decided, no, you're not going to. And I gave her a sharp enough correction that she, yeah. And then she went, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? She was just so much faster, so much ready to go, and really responsive to the idea of, I'll do what you want. So I'll end it right there, because I think we've got enough stuff in today. But the rest of the day, now here's that thing. So that's a plus. So like it's a +1. So I think we're ahead right now with her. But if the rest of the day today she goes on walks and does it how she wants to do it, that's a -1. We didn't get anywhere. So if we go the next time she has to go on a lead and it's pretty good and we test her, what's her name? Haley. If we take her for a while, very good. Come on. If that time there she was able to dig her feet in and not go, and I went, oh, we're back to this. We'd have been -1, and now we'd have been 0. Now we're +2. There you go. Now we're +3, because I barely had to touch her little lead. She came right off. Good girl. That's a very good girl. Now we're +4. I'm trying to add something to it. She's on an island. You can read her body language right now. She goes, I'm alone. I'm really not comfortable being alone right now. Just trying to get her eyes to tell me, okay. There, licking the lips. Just gained again. So we're plus. Now, today, when we bring her back in, work on a really nice heel with her. Because right now, she's very comfortable with you. Worked with him. Today, I think, actually, was probably the least settled he's been. I think the first time was maybe borderline the same as today. The second time was really nice. Didn't we have a third time in there that he settled in pretty good? And then this is the fourth?
Well, this is the third because he was that second week he wasn't here. Yeah.
Okay. So, I think, you know what? That's a really good example. Now we're building a little bit of history over these sessions. So the really good example is, you might, if this is session 3 with that dog, one was on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being super successful, which you probably never get, 1 being awful. First session was probably a 5 or 6, kind of neutral. The second one was a 7 or an 8. The third one, I'd say it's a 6. I think we were better than not, but we also went back a little from the last one. So if the last one was a 7, this was a 6. But now, as this goes on, I might bump it up to a 7. Like, this is a change. It just took a little longer to get.
I have a question. So like he was whining right there, and I know you said like one time like when we had Jax here, he like was getting whiny, and you said that you would tolerate it that with Spry. Like how do you address that? Because like
To a
Jax
point.
gets whiny in the car.
Yeah.
So how do you?
To a point, I won't allow it. Or so I think part of the reason is they want that dog. The reason it depends on what they're whining for. If they're whining because they got to go to the bathroom, boy, who am I to correct that?
Right.
If they're whining because they want attention and they want to do something different, that dog whines because it doesn't want to sit still. It wants to go do something. It's a busybody. He would much rather be doing something else. He's so whiny that when he's doing something else, he's whining because he wants to do something else from that. Like, he's just real needy. And so what we need, and I think culturally, someone has facilitated his needs up to this point. When you want something different, we'll do it. And the reason I'll do it is because to shut you up. So it's like taking a fire and trying to put it out with a bucket of gas. It's not going to work. So if depends on why they're whining. When she was whining the majority, watch the very first session that we did here, she whined the most out of any dog here. I noticed it when I watched the video back. She whined the most. And I think I paid attention to her maybe once throughout the whole thing. I just tolerated it. I can't stand it. It drives me nuts. But part of that's that gasoline to try to put out a fire. She wants attention. And if she whines and gets attention, she will keep whining because it's getting her what she wants. Maybe it might be negative attention, but she doesn't care. She just wants attention. So if they want to do something different and you've turned their whining off by changing scenery for them, they're going to whine even more or harder. So it comes to a point where at times it's ignoring. The punishment to her is disassociation. You whine, you don't get to be a part of this. Now she got to be a part of it today. It's the first time she's gotten to be a part of it. I think she's been less whiny today than she has been. Part of that is she's got a fly to chase with it on the wall. The other part, hey, fly B. The other part is she's likely been here 4 or 5 times now and starting to figure out, you know what, there's all these other dogs that they do stuff with and there's really nothing for me to do. I might as well just wait. And I like the idea of when you wait, you get to play. You need to do something. So, whining. Jax, shut up. He's going, whining. Mama will call my name. So it's earplugs. And long enough to where he goes, now when he does stop, so you gotta mark the behavior that you like to. So when he's doing something I don't want to do and it demands a correction, I correct. You saw that today. And the correct has to be firm enough to get something done. When they do something that I like, we need to praise. So they understand that's what I want. Every one of us right now could praise our dogs. Just give them a little, and it doesn't take, that one, I would not give much. I'd give that one, that's all they need. This one, all she needs. Because if I give her too much, she's right back to where I don't want her to be. But, so when Jax finally goes, and spins around 2 or 3 times and lays down, because he may be just physically tired from moving around and whining. And when he finally does that, wait, count to 10, look at him and go, good boy. Really? That's all it took? He's going to connect it with what he did to get that good boy. So that's the timing of when you praise as well as you correct. I think we got to be conscious of, I think people think I'm so quick to correct, and I talk about correction. It's usually because most of the time we have things that we're trying to get out. But I'm just as much about praise, probably more than I am about correction. But the dog's got to give me stuff to praise them for. And when they do, I'm there. They got to earn that. Some of the problems are created by people overpraising. Praise all the time, and all of a sudden the value isn't there. So when I actually do want to give them a good attaboy, I tell them it, and it's the same thing they've gotten a million times, and it's really not worth that much. So if you overpraise for stuff they really don't have praise coming for, what do you do when they really need it? There's only so much praise you can give a dog to. Same thing with correction. If you're yelling I hunted with a guy that yelled all the time at his dog. Yelled his name. And it was hard to be with. It was loud. He was yelling. He sounded mad all the time. I don't think he was that mad. It's just, that's what he sounded like. And when people he would say, damn dog doesn't listen. He hears you. He just thinks that's how you talk. So when I talk the way I talk and then I change my tone and volume, my dogs respond. But when you yell all the time really loud, you can only yell so loud. So how do you yell any louder? How does he know that he should really pay attention now? Because that's what he thinks you sound like. So you can only go so high. So we got to be just real careful of that. Super long answer to that question.
Right. But that's okay.
Okay?